I dig that song.
Yes.
It's like a little kill switch. I love kill switch in music.
I think you're the only one who can hear it.
There you go.
I was gonna say I don't know what song you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I know. You guys can't hear it because that's my technical difficulty, but it's on this side. So, all right, it's the Rock Salt Musicast experience, and if you can hear that, that is Aaron Michaels, our guest today, and we're so glad to have you on, man. So happy when we heard that Aaron Michaels was going to be on. How you doing today?
Good, man. Glad to be here.
Is it cold out where you are? You got a beanie on?
Yeah, it's freezing down here. It's like 7 degrees. It's
For the
freezing cold
record,
down here.
But for the record, it could be July and Aaron's wearing a beanie, so let's be full transparent. Am I wrong?
Well, that brings me to my next point. That I am jealous of your hair, by the way, because you're almost I think you might be the only one without a hat on. And if I had your hair, I would be rocking it right now. I'm just
I told
saying.
you, Dave. I told you my hair looks amazing today.
I think your hair is great, dude. I'm very envious of your hair.
So thank you for all
You
that.
must
I'm not
have
gonna lie.
conditioned today because it looks great.
Actually, I did a leave-in. This is some Moroccan oil.
Oh my god. Oh.
Nailed it.
Are you sponsored by them or something? Is this like a free
I
ad?
will be after this one, Bob.
Do you do you just for men?
Not this week. See the grays?
Oh. Well, that gives you a little bit of that distinguished look.
Hey, when it's show season, this is all going just for men. I mean, yeah.
Of course.
Aaron plays Santa Claus sometimes at Christmas time because he's got that white beard. And I used to have a big full beard that came down to here, and I would dye it black, kind of John Cooper style, right? And but I decided I'm gonna stop doing this dyeing thing, and I let it grow white. And then everybody started calling me Santa Claus because I'm fat, and I had a white beard. So I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe I should grow that and play Santa Claus one year. That might be fun. And then the other side of my brain goes, but you don't like kids.
Dude, I don't care if do you know how much of a killing like legitimate Santas during the holidays make?
I'm gonna find out next year, maybe.
I have no idea.
Like these guys make bank. Like if you were like a good quality Santa with a good, like you got the nice suit, you got the legitimate beard and the great demeanor, yeah, you're making some bank. Now our mall Santa, although he looked legitimate, that dude was pissed about something because he sat in that chair and he was. I mean, no wonder kids cry when they go to him. So I went to the Great American Cookie place in the mall and I bought him a cookie. And so I took that and I stepped over the ropes and I handed it. I was like, "Here you are, Santa." And he looked at me and was like, "What's this?" I said, "Cookie." And then he opened and smiled and I went on my merry way. So I mean,
That's great.
And see, I would have responded with what? No milk?
No,
of course you would. Of course you would.
Where's the milk?
Oh,
Yeah.
Where's the milk? Yes.
So Aaron, man, let's you got some news. I heard it's exciting news. I don't know what it is. You want to break it here?
Let's start with the AM news.
All right.
And then we'll move on to the next news. Does that work? I have lots of news.
That
I'm always
works,
full
yeah.
of news.
Okay. All right.
So the first news is, I don't know if everyone knows or not, but I have a new single out, and it's called Your Chains Are Breakable. And it's rocking. It's hard. It's something a little different from Aaron Michaels. It's a little harder than what, Aaron Michaels fans are used to, which I think that's a great thing. We're going to continue going on that route. And I've got a featured guest on there, Lester Estelle. He's the drummer for Pillar and the Kelly Clarkson Show. And he rocked it on the drums on that song. And so I'm real excited about that. So have you heard the song?
Absolutely.
I was listening this morning. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. Some of your best stuff yet, I think.
A funny story about Lester, though. When I was a solo artist, however many years ago, and I released my first single called "Breathe," the guy who was engineering it here in Ashland, he's friends with Lester, and he got a hold of Lester, and Lester played the drums on that track too. So I mean, it's like
Awesome.
it's just weird how full circles, man.
Yeah, very cool. I'm envisioning though, Breathe and Patrick Rivers. Is it kind of like Michael Bolton style
Actually, it's just the whole music
with
video
the
is-
hair and everything?
Actually, the whole video is just me drowning in a creek.
Oh, have you guys seen the Saturday Night Live bit with Michael Bolton where he's singing the song with the Lazy Sunday guys? I forget what they call themselves, but he comes in singing as Jack Sparrow.
No, I have
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Oh, you guys haven't seen that clip? I gotta
Yeah.
send you guys that clip. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, you should
How
put
dare
it,
he
you should
bite
put it
my
as
style.
a link in the comments.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yep.
That's what I'll do. Because I
That's
don't want to go
awesome.
digging for it right now.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
but-
Patrick, like you said, man, just kind of full circle with the Lester deal, and it like I said, it turned out great, and it's been released. I think almost 2 weeks, I guess, not even quite 2 weeks, and we're close to 1,000 streams, on just Spotify. I don't know what all the other ones are, but it's getting a great response. Radio's all over it, and done several interviews just like this one, and so
And dude,
it's really
another
starting
thing,
to catch on.
it seems like every
Yeah.
song that you put out, though, radio is all over it. Every time you release a song, you'll go to the Christian, the Christian music charts, which is the only one in America that does the nationwide music charts, and you are always right in top 10, top 15 with every song you write. And I think that speaks volumes for what you do and the content that you put out, man, because that is not an easy task.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I think honestly they just get sick and tired of hearing from me, so they just play it, so I won't bug them anymore.
And I'm gonna stop you there, and that is complete fabrication, because if that was the case, they would have been playing our crap too. So that's not how it works.
well, Patrick, I'm assuming that Aaron's probably got a better in than just calling the request line over and over again.
Well, actually, it's just me sending videos of me crying, saying, "Just please play my song."
Oh, you mean like the one you sent to us?
Yeah, that's how I got the
Yes.
spot on the show. Remember?
That's what I'm doing wrong. I'm not sending sad videos. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. Hey, man,
That's
don't
what I'm doing wrong.
haven't you ever watched America's Got Talent? You need a sob story for people to connect with.
Right, man. That is so
That's how
true,
you-
though, isn't
That's
it?
how you win.
Like everybody
Isn't
that
it?
ever gets out there has a sob story. Like
Yeah.
I don't really
Nobody's
have
got-
a sob story. I don't feel like.
Yeah, nobody's got a story of, you know what? I just busted my ass and here I am.
I've got a
Right? I worked really hard. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna start pinning my own sob story. Like I was trafficked by 17 Malaysian hookers to get where I am today. So it's just, yeah, it was
Or
rough
Hunter-
growing up out here on
Or
the
Hunter
street, you
Biden.
know? Yeah,
Or
at the Finger
Oh,
Lakes,
man.
you know, it's just
Yeah.
it's bad.
all right,
Well,
we're
hey, let me
hijacking
tell
Aaron's
you-
news here. Yeah.
Let me tell you who does have a great sob story, and it's a true story. And when I heard his testimony, I did tear up a little bit. But Jermaine from Tricord, he's with us today. But man, what a great testimony he's got.
Dude, I thought you were about to
Jermaine,
give
you can unmute now.
Oh, thank goodness he's with us today.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man. No, you just got excess background noise, brother.
I know, man. I'm in such a this was the quiet area. Now it's becoming noisy because everybody's about to start coming in here to start registering.
Where you at?
Well, they heard
I
you.
am at a youth camp. We're doing worship at a youth camp this weekend and throwing a concert. We
Awesome.
have Rob from Crimson Overtones here too.
What's up?
He's playing bass for us.
The- The gang's all here. Hey, Jermaine, are you gonna do like Kumbaya for an encore?
I might do it for the bonfire.
Okay.
Except I'll say it in the African voice and everything. I'm gonna really throw it up.
Oh man.
That's great. Tell Rob I said hello.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
I just want a disclaimer. I don't even know these guys.
Yeah.
He's sending me emails, and
I-
I'm just a glutton for attention. So I just
I had no part of this.
Hey Jermaine, I brought my tambourine. Can I play?
Hey man, playing tambourine, I'm trusting that you got that black old grandma soul rhythm.
That's right.
Hey,
That's right.
You know what? Speaking of, hey, by the way, speaking of, and I believe it was, I got all my notes here. Faith over fear. No, wrong one. Comfort and strength. I wanted to talk to you about that song because when I was listening today, I was like really getting into that guitar riff, how it opens, and then you bring in the organ, and there's like a southern blues gospel feel to this rock song.
Right.
That's the only way I could describe it. Man, I loved it. Loved it.
Thank you. You know, like I said, that's one of my older songs. And my guitar player, Keith Rowland, he just one day started that riff, you know, that down, 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 you know, and I was just like, man, that is a cool riff, man.
Yeah.
And so I just got in my best little blues rock, you know, mindset that I could get in. And I don't even remember what passage I was reading, but, you know, it was like, you are my comfort and my strength. You are my everything, you know, and so it just started coming out, you know, and well, there's, again, I can't remember where it's at, but there's a passage in the Bible where it says, be of good cheer, your faith has made you well. And I was reading that. And so that's where the chorus came from. But golly, I'm terrible at this, but he had healed someone and he said, be of good cheer, your faith has made you well, you know, get up and walk. And so anyway, that's where the inspiration came from. But yeah, it's just a fun song, you know, it's just a bluesy rock song, and we had a lot of fun recording it and writing it. So
I don't like to critique other people's art, so I'm not critiquing. But I would suggest that if you ever re-record that, get yourself a good Southern black gospel choir.
Right.
And oh man, to go along with that organ, I can hear it now. Oh, it's fantastic.
We might have to do that.
Just an idea, man.
I don't like to critique other people's work, but you should do it better next time, you scumbag.
I didn't know how else to say it, but that's all I could hear when I was listening to that song. I was like, oh, if it had a choir in it, I think but it's so good on its own. I'm not trying to backtrack or
throw some Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act in the background. You go knock it out of the park.
Hey!
Oh, happy day.
Oh man. And so
I can hear that though. I can hear that in it for sure.
Yeah. But hey, if you ever re-record it, man, think about it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna give you all the props.
No, don't give me
all the props.
Don't give me any props. Just like I don't know, when you get that big huge gospel choir on stage, just throw out my name. That's all.
All right.
This
is for you, Carol.
Aaron Michaels remastered. I see it.
Remastered.
Yeah. You'd have it in the Masters of the Universe font from the old He-Man show. Be fantastic.
Oh, hey, since I'm throwing out ideas, you said something earlier before we started recording, and you called something Early AM, and I went, oh, what a great album name for you. That'd be a great album title, Early AM. Oh, and you put all your old stuff.
The best of CD.
Yeah.
Early AM.
Exactly. Early AM. Oh, it's fantastic. You can jot that down. That's all yours, brother.
Play instruments. Just have these kids play it and just say it to you. Be like Early AM.
Right.
It's a gimmick. It's
Hey,
just a gimmick.
you know, Aaron, we're just gonna take over. We're just gonna take over your career for you. Okay, you don't have to do anything, just except what we tell you.
Yeah, that's right.
It'd be like Kids Bop.
It's all good.
Right.
Hey, I'm an open listener. I like to
Yeah.
take people's opinions and
Flush
you know,
them.
put them to use. So yeah.
Yeah,
Now you described how you Comfort and Strength is the song we were just talking about.
right.
How you put that together. How'd you put the new song together? How would it, something speak to, what spoke to you this song came out of?
Well, I wanted to write a song about addiction, and just other things that have to do with anxiety and fear. What was going through my mind at the time was even there's a lot of stuff going on in the world as far as just racism and things like that, and just breaking these chains of all these different things, and so, one of the lines, and I think it's a really powerful line. Me and a buddy were talking about how, loving your enemy sometimes is the hardest thing to do. And so there's a line in there. It says, hate, can you love the Judas of your past? And it says, when anger takes control, the judgment lasts. Because we can't get rid of that anger if we're just, focused on it. And if we don't forgive that person. And so just all kinds of emotions in that song. But just being able to break those chains through Jesus Christ, and through, prayer and just, applying that and doing it, because so many times we talk about it, but are we really doing it, And so that's kind of where the idea of the song came in. And I'm trying to, let me get here and try to find this song.
While you're looking for it, I will say this.
Okay.
When I listened to it this morning, I think it goes for anybody's chains, whatever they are, though. That's kind of what I took out of it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Smoking, alcohol, drugs, whatever your chains might be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that includes social media.
That's true. That's true. That can be an addiction,
Totally.
I mean,
Yes.
I have to, I'm on it so much, not just promoting my band and trying to, stay plugged in, but now, the announcement that I'm fixing to make, I've got to try to find that balance, between that and family, because I find myself taking myself away from family time, and so, it's an addiction,
There's been a couple of times that I've been, restricted on Facebook for like 30 days or something for something I said or posted. And I always say, don't threaten me with a good time, Mark Zuckerberg, because at the end of the 30 days, I feel so much better about myself that I wasn't on social media. It's like giving up smoking for 30 days and you just start to feel better.
Right.
It's a drug just like anything else.
Yeah, it is for sure. But I found the song. So I was listening to this song, and it's a Lacey Stern. You know who that is?
Yeah.
So I was listening to one of her new songs, and it's called "State of Me." Have you heard that song?
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, well, you should check it out because it's got a great hook and a great riff to it. But there's a part that's like, and so I got this thing. It was kind of like a Skillet vibe, and then her song, and I was like, I don't know. I heard something about your chains are breakable there. So I took that idea, and then I sent it to my label, Broadhead Music Group, and Randall Broadhead, and he took it, and he's like, I hear what you're hearing, but I've got a song, I've got something I want to send you. So he sent me some music that he had been working on a different song, and it was perfect.
Yeah,
it's perfect for what I was wanting to do with that song. And so we took that, and my band put their flavor to it, and we can kind of took it and we ran with it, and then now you have your Chains Are Breakable, you know. And so me and Randall got together, and you know, he helped write, you know, like the first verse and part of the chorus, and then I wrote the second verse. And it's funny because the little bridge part in the middle where I'm just kind of screaming, we were like, we need a bridge, but I don't really know what to do right there. And so I like, man, for like months, I was sitting there trying to write this cool bridge that just never happened. And so when we got in the studio, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do something. And so I kept hearing that in my head. And so I just screamed it out. Your chains are breakable, you know, and it worked out good. So, you know, I don't know. And then we had that breakdown at the end. Where it's like, hey, ta-da, 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 you know, and then just kicked so hard. And I was like, where do we put that? You know, do we put it in the middle? Where do we put that? And he's like, no, let's just put it at the end when people think the song might be over, and then we'll just kill them with that for about 30 seconds, you know. So leave them wanting more, you know. So
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that was kind of, you know, the writing process of that song, and kind of where I got the idea from that, you know, Lacey Stern song. And so anyway, that's
It's like
how it
the
came.
it's like the end of a Marvel movie when you think it's over, but you got to stay past the credits to see that final scene.
That's it. Don't turn it off early because you're gonna miss
No.
one of the best parts.
No, take your Spotify off of that segue thing so you can hear the whole song.
Yeah,
Hey, Aaron, can we throw that in right now? Can we do that?
absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, both Aaron A and Aaron M.
Yes.
All right, or Aaron B and Aaron M. Here it is. It's Your Chains Are Breakable, and it's got Lester Estelle from Pillar. Is he singing on this as well, or just drums?
Just playing the drums.
Just
doing
playing the drums.
I did all the vocals on it.
All right. Okay. Well, here it is from Aaron Michaels. Your Chains Are Unbreakable. Rock salt. Okay. All right. Back. And that's the new one from Aaron Michaels. Your Chains Are Breakable with Lester Estelle from Pillar. And
Fantastic jam,
now-
my friend. Fantastic jam.
yeah, it's fantastic, man. As Patrick likes to say, it's a banger.
When did I ever
It's a
say?
banger. It's a banger.
Well, you call all of your songs bangers, Patrick.
No, I did. I literally just called my song trash when we were talking about the. So I mean, your details are flawed, bro. But this one was a banger. This one was a banger.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Humble Patrick today. Humble Patrick.
Wait a second. I don't like the labels being thrown around here. Really? Like there's not like what am I any other day? Angry Patrick? Like
Hey,
here
by
comes narcissistic Patrick. He'll be here tomorrow.
by the way, I'm gonna fanboy out for a minute. I get giddy when you like my posts there, Aaron Michaels.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Michaels like my posts.
That's right.
I'll be sure to like them like 500 times.
Oh yeah, as much as you can. Set up duplicate accounts and stuff, you know, so you can do that.
I will.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually do have 2 accounts, so I can.
Oh, do you? All right. Well, I don't have enough money to buy bots, so you know.
Hey, so you got some more news
Yeah.
for us.
Dude,
Does
I
this
do.
need a drum roll? Do we need a drum roll for this? Is this big
Possibly.
news?
We're
here.
gonna need a drum roll, and Sexy Beast is gonna have to come back.
Oh, okay. So
for
we're
this.
waiting. And by the way, because people that are watching can't see, it says Sexy Beast. There's that's Sexy Beast is Jermaine. That's an inside joke.
Yes.
So well, I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes. There he goes. All right.
All right.
Let's do the drum roll here
Drum
for Aaron's
roll.
news. Right?
Okay.
All right.
Drum roll, please.
There you go.
All right. So
Hi hat.
yeah. So about 6 months ago, God put it in my heart to do something that's kind of crazy. And so about, man, what was it? Like a week before Christmas, I started contacting some people. But so anyway, God wanted me to start a record label. And I was like, you got to be crazy. And I was like, and he just kept putting it in my heart. So I was like, my wife was all telling me I need to do this. And so I was like, man, all right. So here we go. So Aaron Michaels is starting a record label. It's called Resurrection Records. And it's going to be a family of bands that I believe in, a family of bands that again, like I consider family. I believe in their ministry. I believe in them as people. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm starting a record label. And the first band to actually sign their contract and get it to me is a band, you might have heard of them, called Tricord.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're super stoked about that. Yeah. Jermaine, you got something to say?
Hey, Jermaine, you there?
Jermaine, you can unmute now. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got something to say, Jermaine?
Yeah, man, it's an honor. When Aaron hit us up on Christmas Eve, he had mentioned somebody else, and I contacted that person, and I was like, "Yo, bro, how legit is this?" And he was like, "Dude, it was an automatic yes for us." So he was like, "Just talk to him, and just see." He was like, "For us, it was the smartest thing we could have did," and I couldn't agree more with that person. It was the absolute smartest thing that we probably could have done, and I am so excited to partner with Aaron on Resurrection Records.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is exciting news. That was not the news I was expecting. I was expecting the new song. This is that's big news. That's awesome. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the person that he's talking about, I believe, is, one of the first bands that I contacted. They're actually the second band to actually sign their contract and get it mailed in. And that is going to be, you probably heard of these guys too, because they're pretty big. They're big time. And that's 3 Days Under. Woo woo.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I was starting to feel a little bad for Patrick as we praised Tricord over here. I was like, Patrick didn't get no deal.
Yes. And so
Right
on. Actually, we were playing. We did a show out at the Good Fight. Why is there an ambulance in my street? Way to go!
Uh-oh.
Just brought on death on my door.
You signed that new contract, didn't get to enjoy it.
Hey, we rebuke that right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we were playing a show up at the Good Fight with Aaron. What month was that last year?
Man, was that like? It was wasn't that towards the summer? It was
August. Maybe it was hot.
Maybe August. Yeah, it was hot still. I think it was August.
But I remember when you'd come to me, I think when Big Rev was on stage, you come to me and you were like, "Hey, listen, this isn't like final yet. This is what I'm working through." And you said, and you said something along the lines of, "But this is what I plan on doing moving forward. I want to talk to you about it." And I mean, so I had the benefit of being able to mull it over for a few months before Christmas. But then when like Jermaine called me Christmas Eve or whatever day that was, wanted to discuss, and I was just like, dude, what are you going to lose? I mean, Aaron's a good dude. He knows what he's doing because you've got experience more than whatsoever. But then when I heard what your heart is for the other artist behind it, I mean, that's all she wrote for me.
Same.
Because it's just, I mean, this is such a fickle industry. I mean, I think the Christian music industry, especially as an independent artist, is 10 times harder and 10 times shadier. There's more gossip that goes on in the Christian music industry than there is in a freaking girls' locker room. So, I mean, for up and coming artists, like some of the guys that Aaron's bringing on, and people are just trying to get a start, trying to get a little further, and just his heart to help them is amazing. There's no helping us. We're shot. We're like that old dog now. So,
are you changing the name of 3 Days Under to Old Yeller?
No, it's copywritten, Dave. Sure.
Well, you could
No,
spell
it's gonna be 3 days done.
Absolutely. 3 days and we're done because that's all we got in the tank. We
I
got 3
see.
days out of the year, then we're out. We're out.
They're like Santa Claus. They only play 3 days a year.
But yeah, and honestly, over the past, however, what we in season 7 now as a full blown band. Over the past 7 years, we have received so many trash freaking contracts. I mean, some have been a paragraph, some have been a page and a half, and some of them just, but they're all just such garbage to take advantage of the artist. And we've been very.
Then there's me that sends you the 10-page contract.
Right. Well,
Right,
that's how you really know when things are legit. I mean, the more you have to read and the more you have to go over, I mean, that's a good indicator that it's a legit contract because you're covering all bases, not just a few things. And so, and we were able to negotiate the contract. And Aaron, I mean, we're happy to be there. Season 7 for 3 days under is going to be phenomenal. I literally, we're not even actively trying to book shows. We're going to let God place us where He wants us, and we're going to let whatever Resurrection Records with Aaron at the helm do. I have 100% faith and trust in Aaron and what's put on his heart. And if God's behind it, it can't fail. Whether we go on to play gigantic shows and festivals, or whether we become a tight knit group of a roster to where it's just like, okay, if it all collapses, we'll still have each other to go back to, you know.
First of all, I gotta say I'm like overjoyed for all three of you. I'm so happy for you guys. It seems like it was a long time in the making, and maybe God just was waiting until the time was right, or the bread in the oven was done, or whatever, however you want to put it. But
and then we'll be added when they add a podcast division to the record label.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be 100% transparent and honest right now, though.
What is that?
There it is.
What is
I don't
that?
have a stamp, so it hasn't been mailed off yet.
Oh, so you're not official, Patrick?
Oh, it's signed. It's signed. The contract is signed.
Yeah, but
That
it's
happened
not.
this morning.
Yeah, I just don't have a stamp.
Yeah, it's not in AM's hands, man.
It's all right. He knows what's up.
I'm very.
As soon I took a video, and as soon when I was signing it, and I shipped it, and I sent the video first thing this morning to Aaron. But listen, I've literally been dying for the last month, so I've kind of been.
You got a screenshot of a signed contract, Aaron?
Got a video.
I do, in a video.
So do
And
we
I
have
a video when Tricord signed too that we'll release whenever we announce it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Instagram page, Facebook page for the record label, or
It will be coming out in February.
Okay,
Everything's gonna
February?
start February 1. So yeah.
oh, that's
Hey,
awesome.
so I'm actually interested. I've always kind of been interested in the business side of show business. So what's it take to try to get your own label off the ground? I mean, that's got to be like looking at Mount Kilimanjaro and going, I got to climb that.
Not really.
No.
It's more like taking a step off of a cliff,
Oh, really?
because when's the right time to do it? When's the right time to do anything? You just got to trust God, and you just got to take the leap of faith, and you just got to do it sometimes. And like he said, we're either going to fall off the ledge, or we're going to keep walking on water all the way to the other side with God's help, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I didn't go to school to study how to start a record label, but
No,
I've got lots of
who
experience
does?
over the years. I've learned what to do. I've learned what not to do. That's the main thing, and this label is for the artists. This label is for them. This isn't for me to make a ton of money. I'm in this to help the artist get out there, get their name out there, get their ministry out there, mainly get their testimonies out there, because that's what's going to change lives, is the music and the testimonies and the stories.
Right.
And
So how much would you say running a record label is promotion? How much of the job is promotion of the bands? I mean, I would think that would be like 75-80% of the job,
at least
wouldn't it?
maybe 85.
Really?
90%. I mean, that's what it is, and so the difference between small labels and big labels are, and people are going to take this the wrong way probably if they're a big label, but I don't really care because a lot of times it's the truth. Not all the time. I'm going to specify that. Not all the time. But a lot of the time, the big labels aren't even ran by Christian people. They're ran
that's
by
what I've
people
heard.
that have money, that want to bring in artists, say, hey, you're going to call yourself a Christian. We're going to write some, feely good Christian songs, and we're going to make you a lot of money because we're going to spend a lot of money to put you out there, and you're going to go do your thing. I don't really care what you do after the award show. I don't care what you do, on your own time. You can go get drunk. You can go get high. You can do whatever you want to do. But as long as you sing these feel-good God songs, we're going to keep dishing you the money, right? So, and in my opinion, that's a terrible thing, And what the bad thing is, you have all these people that listen to mainstream radio, and I'm mainly talking about mainstream music. And again, I'm probably going to get punched in the face for this, but that's what I do. I speak my mind, and whether, sometimes the truth hurts. And so, these people that are doing this, I just feel like sometimes they're doing it for the wrong reasons, Now, there's a lot of them out there that aren't doing it for the wrong reasons, but, money talks sometimes. And I think sometimes people stray away from the main purpose and the main focus. And, big time record labels are basically a bank. So they pay for all this stuff, all this promotion, all this recording, all this, all these tours that they set up. But guess what? That artist has to pay that back with interest.
With interest. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was with interest.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I knew they had to pay it back.
20 to 25% interest.
Holy smokes.
So that's why they go on these big tours and all this, so they can pay all that money back to the label. And so, my label isn't made of money, but it's made of a heart that is passionate and a heart that is passionate about these artists and what they're doing. And I'm gonna put every single dollar that they give me and that I put into this, into, promoting them and putting their music out there and building their fan base and just doing what I've learned over the past 2 or 3 years. And, when you add it up, I'm making about $3 a day, but I'm probably putting in at least, 3-4 hours every day into this, and that's after I do my other job, So, I don't know. God gives you crazy ideas sometimes, crazy plans, but he also doesn't give you things that he doesn't think you can handle, So he's trusting me. He's trusting me with this. And so I feel like, this is something that I need to do. And like Patrick said, and Jermaine, this is going to be a family, we're in this to help each other out. We're not in competition against each other, and we're in this to build all of this family up and to help each other out. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what God's going to do. And when you said what all it entails starting a label, we're going to find out. Because I don't know,
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, we're going to build a house. What do we need?
Yeah.
Foundation.
Right.
I know we need that.
Some cement, wood, nails.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, you know what to do? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I mean,
I'm just making jokes, Aaron. I'm just making jokes.
Yeah.
Aaron, you have so much time on your former label and the experience and the ins and outs of working with that and learning for however many years you were with your former label. So, and that's where my confidence lies in you, because like I said, you have the experience. You know what you're talking about. You know the do's, and more importantly, like you said, you know the don'ts. And like I was telling you in discussion, I've taken 3 days as far as I can take it personally. As much as I know that I can do, shoving so much promotion money elsewhere into other things, We're not going to have it all in one spot, and it just makes sense to have somebody that you're familiar with, and it's not just some random guy in it to make his money. But so I mean, we are friends, and so therefore, I mean, it just makes sense when you're more confident in it when you are familiar and friends with the guy who's running the thing anyway. So because you're pretty well not going to get screwed. And again, so what are you going to lose? What do you have to lose at this point? And if it helps you grow as an individual and as an artist and as a label, then it's just back scratch, iron sharpening iron at this point. So
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Aaron, do you and I'll explain what my question means, but do you ever look back and here's how it goes with me. This is a better way to do it. Sometimes in my quiet times, I look back on my life and I go, this happened and that took me here, and that happened, so that took me here, and here I am today. And I wouldn't be here today if those other 4 or 5 things didn't happen. So for example, this podcast right here, my friend and I, we were both in radio, and we had talked about this back in 95. We were talking about doing a streaming radio station, but the technology wasn't there. But we had talked about it. It was something that long before anyone knew what a podcast was. And then as the podcast came around, we started talking about doing that. He unfortunately passed away, and I'm in Sacramento again. And, my buddy Aaron's here, and I call him up and go, hey, you interested in doing something? And so we didn't know what we were doing either. I just bought the equipment and we started. And, those first couple of shows, we joke about it often where we just deleted them.
Right.
They were just so bad.
Yeah, they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah. There's no archive on that one.
No.
Right.
But do you ever look back and see the progression and go, wow, God put it all together? I didn't even see it happening.
Yeah. No, all the time, man. I think that's how successful people get successful is, number one, they don't quit. Number two, they learn from their past. They learn from the mistakes that they made, and they try not to make those same mistakes again. But I think it's just all part of the process, there's several things that when I started doing Aaron Michaels and doing that project that, the very first show that I had was through a guy in Arkansas that was not a promoter. He just decided, God put it on his heart to have a concert, right? So he just started calling people, and it was 7 Time Down was the headliner of that show. And I just happened to, see him on Facebook, and I saw the thing about his show. So I messaged him like I always do. I bug people, right? And so I messaged him and I said, hey, I don't know if you, need another band, but I'd love to come. I'll play for free. I just want to, play and give my testimony and share what God's done for me. And that conversation, at first he told me he didn't need anybody else. And then 2 weeks later, he said, you know what? I prayed about it, and God told me that I need to have you at this show. And, that's what started everything. We Are Vessel was there. Randall was there running sound. 7 Time Down was there. We built a relationship with them. And, if it wasn't for that one show, who knows if all this other stuff would have happened, because the same guy that wasn't really a promoter, that had never put together a concert before, we're like best friends now. We're really good friends, and we still talk all the time. And I give him a lot of the credit to where I'm at today. And so when Randall started his label, Quentin Talmadge is his name, the promoter from Arkansas, by the way. If you're listening, what's up, Quentin? But so he called me. He said, hey, did you see where Randall's going to start a label? You should call him, and that just kind of got the wheels turning and got the conversation going. And that's how that happened. And, just through this whole thing, like I said, you learn things, you learn things about the business, you learn things about people in general. Some things you learn that you don't want to know. Because it's kind of disappointing, you know, because you've looked up to people your whole life and then you find out, hey, they're doing this or, you know, whatever. But we just pray for those guys, you know, we pray for, you know, their ministry and we just pray that they get over whatever they're doing, you know. But I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes, you know, just because I'm saying these guys make mistakes, I just make different mistakes, you know. I make other mistakes, but I try not to make those mistakes, but I do fail daily, you know. And so anyway, said all that to say, you know, just every single thing was a stepping stone, you know. When I decided to do this project, Aaron Michaels, I was on a stage at a water park singing 80s rock music, and God in the middle of the set told me, hey, this is your last show. You're going to go play all those songs like Comfort and Strength that you've written that are collecting dust. You're going to go record those songs and you're going to have a ministry. He's like, you're not done. And I was like, this is in the middle of a set. God's telling me all this, right? I'm like, you know, I'm playing right now. He's like, yeah, I know, you know. So he does things that are so crazy, you know.
Hey, God, could you have your people contact my people? I'm a little busy right now.
Right, exactly. So, but anyway, you know, like, you know, each thing led to another thing, you know. We played a show with 3 Days Under in Missouri called Jesus Fest. And no disrespect to the festival, but we were in a coliseum that held 3,000 people. And I think there were maybe 100 people. That's including the bands and their families at the show.
You're being generous with those numbers.
I'm being very generous. I'm being very generous. So, but if it wasn't for that show, I would have never met 3 Days Under, and you know, and we didn't really talk a lot, but I saw their heart. I saw their set, and I loved it. You know, and that was the first time that I saw them. And you know, same thing with Tricord. You know, they came on a tour with Riddle Me This, which is a band on my label.
We've had him on.
Group.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's on your label as well.
Great guy. But he invited me to come to that tour, be an opener, you know, or whatever at that tour. And so that's when I met Tricord for the first time. So, but you know, in many of these shows, I could have said, hey, I want to be the headliner, blah, blah, blah. But if I would have done that, I never would have met these great people, you know? And so that just goes to show you, you know, it's not about me. I don't care. There was a show the other day that I was putting together, and, you know, this band was like, well, who's the headliner? And I was like, well, you know, I was going to be a headliner, but, you know, if you guys want to do it, you know, whatever, I don't care. I'm not there for that, you know. But sometimes you run into that, sometimes you don't, you know. But
it's not an ego thing with you.
It kind of is. I mean, not with me, it isn't, you know. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not an ego thing with you.
Right. And so, but again, if I wouldn't have done these shows, I never would have met these guys, you know. And so the story just continues to build. And you know, I could talk forever, but you know, God just has a way. You know, he told me to sell my motorcycle. I love my motorcycle. I don't know if I've told you that story, but you know, I was needing to pay for recording and merch and all this stuff, and I didn't have the money to do it. And God told me, you need to sell your motorcycle. And I had 2 dreams about it. And finally, the second one, I said, he told me, he said in the dream, he said, these doors that I'm opening for you right now aren't always going to be open. He said, but you can always buy another motorcycle. And I was like, oh, dang it. I hate it when you're right, you know, because he's always right, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but I wanted to say, okay, is this the devil or is this God talking to me, you know, because I wanted to say this is the devil. I don't need to sell my motorcycle, you know, but it made too much sense. And then after that, you know, it just worked out. 2 weeks later, it was sold, you know, I mean, and it sold for exactly how much I wanted for it. That's another story that I can't go into right now, but I've already talked too much. But all that to say, you know, that I ended up on Broadhead Music Group, great bunch of guys, and we still have a great relationship. And honestly, you know, my label is working together with Broadhead Music Group. He messaged me the other day. He's like, man, we should work together, with our artists. I was like, well, yeah, that's what I want to do, man, And, my artists, I tell them, if I book you, yeah, I'm going to get a percentage of that because I did the work, but I want you to go book your shows through other people. I want you to book your own shows. We all have to work together in this business or it's not going to work.
Dude, don't let him lie to you. Whenever we go to a show, he feeds us rotten meats and cheeses through little holes in our cages. I mean, it's
You don't keep Jermaine in a cage, do you?
Hey, you're the one that put in your contract green M&Ms only.
right.
We won't tell people about that.
Right.
But
don't let him lie to you about that 20% stuff. It's all or nothing for
yeah.
I could have put a runner in my contract. Darn it.
When we started, we have met just a lot of different bands because we started this podcast, and a lot of them have day jobs and they're playing on the weekend or whatever. And to see some of these bands put together albums, get signed to a label, and really succeed in their ministry, the honest point is they're not going to become millionaires because of this, but the foundation that they're putting in other people's lives and making, new conversions for Christ is worth more than any money that you could have. And to see some of these bands just succeed in their ministry and talk to them about going into a bar and seeing people come up to them afterwards and go, I had an addiction, and I was ready to, do something harmful to my life. But because of what you said today, I got something else to live for, and all of that is great. And I'm so happy for Resurrection Records and what they're going to do for the kingdom of Christ going forward. What
I have to say, Aaron, is your story of starting this record label, Resurrection Records, is really a story of faith over fear, isn't it?
It is.
You
Yeah.
like that, huh?
Yes.
That was good. That's a good plug. That's a good plug.
That's a good.
All
That's right.
So let's do faith over fear here on Rock Salt.
Okay. Oh, welcome back to the Rock Salt. I thought you were gonna break. Welcome back to the Rock Salt Musecast Experience, everybody.
It's Aaron's first day.
Well, yeah, I know it is. It is
First
my
day.
first day. First day.
He's a little nervous.
You got your
Yeah, I know.
Halloween costume on right now, Aaron.
Oh, my Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you. Okay.
Oh yeah. So, got this hat from my wife that I bought for myself for Christmas.
Mhm.
Love this. Love
Even
this. hat.
though y'all
Love this hat.
cheated on
Oh,
Christmas.
oh my! Do we have to?
Like every game that they play?
We didn't cheat. What? We didn't cheat.
Jerry Jones.
Man,
throwing around that
how
money
much
to
did
the
Jerry
referees.
Jones pay those referees? That's what I want to know.
Oh my gosh! Again, it is your job as a coach, to make sure that the players that you want to be able to catch the ball are announced properly. As a
Hey,
coach.
I'm just trying to get you riled up. So,
Okay, no, I'm
so
just
here's my thing on that game.
okay.
By the way, if you don't know, I'm a
And
Lions fan. For
Okay,
everyone
we're
watching.
done about the Cowboys Lions the New Year's Eve or the 30th of December. Go ahead.
Yes. So here's the way I see that game. Even after that call, whether it was a bad call or a good call, it doesn't even matter. We didn't kick 2 field goals and went for it on 4th down. And if we would have just kicked one of those field goals, we would have won anyway. So to me, that was bad coaching. So
I'm a
I
firm
was
believer.
just trying,
if
like
you-
I said, I was trying to get you riled up. I don't know if he checked in or not, but it is what it is. They should have won anyway, regardless. But they made decisions not to kick field goals. So, and I'm not gonna say it's bad coaching because the Lions coach he is a risk taker, and I like that about him. But when you do things like that, it's kind of like gambling. You know, sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose all your money. You know, and so anyway, like I said, Aaron, I was just trying to get you riled up, brother.
Well, I'm a firm
You know,
believer. You put yourself in a position to where you're playing the referees, then you generally deserve to lose.
Right,
So I mean, put enough points on the board to where you don't have to worry about bad calls, and you're not in that spot. But although I do think the Lions got screwed, just for the record.
You know,
just for the record, right?
Hopefully after these weekend of games, we're not talking about the referees. But that's been the case these last couple weeks of the NFL season.
Yeah,
that
it's
we
been
have
a lot of games. You know, it started with that Chiefs
for
game.
Officiating. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the offsides call they never call, and they throw a flag. And I'm thinking to myself, you just ask for problems.
I would like to know at what, since we're talking about that Chiefs Bengals game, I would like to know at one point in any NFL game, did they go ahead and run the play and they said, "Oh, wait a second, they get a redo"? What is that nonsense? Right. Okay, wait a second, our bad. They're going to redo this play, and just, I mean, come on. But again, that's one of those instances where you left the game in the referee's hands. So,
right.
Yeah. It's the truth. I just remember though when I officiated high school sports and I didn't do football, but I did basketball. And when I worked with the experienced partner, he goes, "Hey, whatever we call at the beginning of the game, we're gonna call all during the game. So we're not gonna call something ticky-tack at the end of the game. We didn't call at the beginning of the game." And I think someone on YouTube put out a video of earlier in the game. One of the players for the Bengals or the Chiefs almost in that exact same spot and no flag was thrown.
Yeah.
And you have to be consistent most of all. And so
let's get to these playoff games. We can talk about the past and the referees. Let's get to these playoff games.
Yeah, that's what I want to get to. We're Texans and the Browns are about to start. And so
starting now.
I'm rooting for CJ Stroud and the Texans in this game, but this could be a tough task for a very young team.
Hey, speaking of
the Browns,
that Stroud's got a ministry, man. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all see all
That's why we're pulling for him.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
The reason I'm pulling for him.
He's not ashamed, man, and I love that.
No. But I tell you what,
yes,
on the opposite side of the ball for Joe Flacco to come off the couch, just having Thanksgiving doing life, to get a call to be like, "Hey, man, we need to come and do some stuff," and then he shows out like this. Way to go!
That's true.
Yeah,
kudos to him. You're right.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I'm definitely.
So and then later on, I'm really interested in listening to the or watching the Miami Dolphins and Chiefs, and like minus 7 degrees.
It's gonna be painful to watch sitting on the couch. How cold it's going to be there.
Yeah. Now, Aaron, if I get it right, do you coach football or used to coach football? Am I?
Yes, I actually.
Okay.
I retired this year to focus on the music.
Okay. Okay.
But I will say this, I did varsity for years, and there was an opportunity to be the head 8th grade coach. And I was going to make about $300 less a year than what I was making before doing varsity. So it was a no-brainer. But because I didn't have to do film on the weekends. I had more time at home. So, but anyway.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, what was like the coldest game you ever coached in?
Oh, man. Playoff time in November is cold, dude. But I would say probably 20 degrees, 25.
20
it was pretty
degrees.
cold.
Wow.
It was snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I do want to give my school props though, because the juniors and senior class of this year, when I had both of those teams in 8th grade, they went undefeated, won the championship in 8th grade, and they won the state championship this year. So I was super proud of them. Yeah. So they beat in the finals, they beat Stillwater, and which is a lot of those players, they live in Stillwater, which is where OSU, Oklahoma State University is. And they always have a great team. They got a great draw there because of the college that's there and stuff. But, they've got a great team, a great, great coaching staff. Gundy's son, actually, both his sons were quarterbacks there at Stillwater High School. And but anyway, yeah, we pulled it off, won the state championship, and got that ring. So I was super proud of them. So Muskogee Ruffers, great job. Give you a shout out. Yeah,
Is that five A or 6A?
They're 6A, but we are 6A2. There's two classes. 6A1 is the biggest class, which is like Jinx and Union and Wasso. And then we're 6A2, which is smaller 6A class.
I think I watched that game. I subscribed to the high school thing, and I watched that game last week because I know I watched the other game with Jinx in it too. So
Jinx and Bixby,
that is really cool. Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah. They won by 1 point. They stopped them on. They tried to do a 2-point conversion to win, and we stopped them and won by 1.
Wow,
so,
nice.
It was exciting.
So we got later on that we got the Chiefs playing the Dolphins in -7 degrees. I imagine it hurts a lot getting tackled when it's like minus degrees.
Hey, you know what?
Though?
I think after a while, because I played some games when it was that cold. I'm not going to say it was that cold, but it was cold. It wasn't -7, but it was cold. But after a while, you kind of just go numb.
I don't know, man. As a construction worker who's worked a lot of outdoor jobs and smacked your thumb with a freaking hammer when it's like 31 degrees out.
Oh, man.
After you've been out in it for 6 hours already, that's a bad day, man. I mean, words you thought you overcame a long time ago try to creep right back up, man.
I don't know if you're totally numb, but you're going to feel it later for sure. But that's too cold. That's too cold.
Out of my sheer, the Kansas City Chiefs have become on par with my hatred for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm pulling for Miami just because I love the coach so much. That dude is just funny. That dude's funny. He's a little nerd on the sideline that you would have never pegged for a head coach.
Does he look like your 5th grade science teacher?
Yes, he does.
Does he look like the high school science teacher?
He's got this dry humor. You're just like, did you just say that? We're having a meeting. And he's, yeah. And so it's, that's the only reason I'm pulling for Miami.
So what are your picks for this weekend?
I just gave them.
Well,
so we got the Dolphins.
I think the Browns.
Think the Browns?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will be victors today. And then tomorrow we have the Pittsburgh game got moved to Monday, so we can go with the Rams at Detroit, Rams at the Lions, and then we have the Packers at the Cowboys.
Stafford making a comeback home for those Lions, man. That's that's just a storyline in itself. That's gonna be good.
Can you wear a Stafford Lions jersey at the game tomorrow? Is that allowed, or is that like against?
I don't think it's allowed. I don't know.
I think it'd be
honestly honor. Okay,
yeah. That would be appreciation for what you did for our team, because his last couple of years with Detroit, they were there. That's when they started coming on pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they actually had a playoff game one of those years. They made it to the playoffs. They lost, but
now you're singing the old bingo. We made it to some playoff games, but we lost, and we did that for like 20 years.
So I got the Lions in that game. I think the Lions would win, and then we have the Packers at the Cowboys, and
you have to go for the Cowboys.
You know who I'm choosing.
Go Pack,
and
go.
So. Go Pack, go! In story related to that, I'm I think he's called the H back, but he third string tight end for the Packers, Josiah Degora. Actually, I had him in my Sunday school class at the church we were in, and his dad was the associate pastor at our church and did my dad's memorial service. So,
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
I would be happy for Josiah. He actually played the University in Cincinnati. Great kid.
I don't know why you're not getting this guy on the phone to be on the show. Come on, you got
yeah. I'm sure Dad is. Dad's a huge Cowboys fan, so I'm sure Dad will be rooting for the Packers tomorrow. And so when he got drafted, he bought like all the aunts and uncles and mom and dad, sisters and cousins, Packer shirts and all that. That was a pretty penny. So, and then tomorrow night we have, what's that other game tomorrow night? The 5:00 game on NBC. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank, but I shouldn't be. I know who plays Monday. The late game tomorrow is, as I'm trying to find.
Not finding it. Is there one?
Yeah. Oh, it is the Rams Lions is the late game tomorrow.
Oh, it's a new
yeah,
game.
That's right. And then Monday, the first time in my 34-year history of working for UPS, we actually get Martin Luther King Day off. And so I'll be able to be home and watch the Steelers at the Bills. Patrick is definitely rooting for the Bills, I would assume.
No.
So here's a big game.
Bills. No, you're going to root for the Steelers?
No, I'm going to root for both teams to get frostbite and have to shut the game down.
Okay. And then and then we got the Eagles at the Bucks. Both teams. So
you're gonna have two. You're gonna have two OU quarterbacks in that game.
Yeah, because you
got Hurts and Mayfield.
Mayfield, yeah.
I've got to say, I'm going for Baker, man.
That's where I was headed. I'm gonna be rooting for Baker.
He is such a fighter, man, and a competitor. And to see where he's come from in the NFL, and then to go to Tampa and do what he's done, man, I want to see him do well.
And again, I think he's funny. I think he's got a nice sense of humor. So,
yeah.
And so I'm going to root for the Steelers. A young man that I've gotten really close with. He's a huge Steelers fan. They're like the backdoor team in this.
Yeah, they are, and there's a reason they call them that.
Everybody else, everybody lost so they could get in. They needed like this team to lose, and this team to lose, and they would get in. And there they are. So plus they needed the Baltimore Ravens plant, so they had to play any of their starters so they could beat the Ravens the last week of the season to get in the playoffs. So,
well, honestly,
what do you think of the national championship?
In our division, if there's any team that I would want to play, it'd be Mitch Trubisky and the daggone Steelers, because I know I'm moving.
Well,
it's
Mitch is not playing.
Well, who's
they
playing?
They got the OSU
quarterback from OSU,
Rudolph.
Rudolph. Going to play. They're not going to play Rudolph.
He's been playing the last couple of weeks.
I know, but I thought that was just like a fill-in until the legitimate playoffs. Because who was it from the?
What's his name?
I don't think it is
the Pistons.
I thought Rudolph was concussed from taking that helmet to the head. that one game a few years back when he was
I don't think so. Oh man, that was ugly.
Yeah, that was
no. What's his name? Their starter, I forget his name now. He was available last week, but he was available last week, full 100%, and they chose to go with Rudolph.
But do you think that? But again,
against
they were
the
playing,
Ravens.
Yeah, but they were playing like third string, so maybe they were holding on to homeboy. I wish I could remember his name,
Yeah.
but maybe they were resting him until the actual playoff game.
Well, they had a playoff game last week because they needed to win to get in, and a bunch of teams to lose, and so Pickett was available last week for
Kenny
the
Pickett,
Steelers, and yep, and they chose to play Rudolph. So no, you're a Sooner fan, right, Mike? Aaron?
Yeah.
You're a Sooner fan? Okay. So hey, what do you
Sometimes.
think about them going to the SEC? Rough? It's going to be rough?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be rough, man.
Yeah.
But it takes time to build a program back up. Now, this stupid portal, man. All teams. I hate to say it, but all teams are screwed, man, because they're just going to keep moving around, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to Alabama now that Saban left. So
Yeah, I think, but they already hired somebody, so they can kind of go off of that right now.
Who did they hire?
The Washington quarterback. So three of the teams that were in the college football playoffs are going to have new coaches.
Yeah,
that's the day and age of college football now. That you're almost a national champion, and you're moving on to greener pastures. So
yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how they're going to do, to be honest. I hope they do well, but I like Venables. I think he does a good job. I'm a huge fan of him. Even when he went to Clemson after he left OU, I was still a big fan of his, and so hopefully he can build it back up. But it's going to be tough to compete in the SEC. So my wife is a Missouri fan, so now we're going to be in the same conference. So now it's on at home too.
No reprieve for you.
Yeah, and my team is going into the Big Ten, and it's going to be rough for UCLA, especially football. At least we're not in the same division as Ohio State. So me and Patrick can remain friends.
Oh, we're not friends.
But welcome back, Dave. Hey, we gotta wrap this up. It's a long show. Aaron Michaels, I am
it went
so
by
grateful.
like that though.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that this was like total a last minute thing. I'm glad you were able to come on. The new single is great. I can't wait to what happens with Resurrection Records and how that launches, and just hoping for great success and lives changed. And I know that would be your success. And if people's lives are changed through Resurrection Records, it will be a huge success. And
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I did. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say congratulations on the new single. It's fantastic. I love it. Congratulations on Resurrection Records. Congratulations on signing these two great bands, 3 Days Under and Tricord. I don't know what else I can congratulate you on, but things are moving in a positive direction, it sounds like. So that's awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, is Resurrection Records' first single they're going to release? Is that the Tricord single that's coming out?
Honestly, it's Shedding Skin.
Okay. Okay.
We're putting that out there. We're putting that out there as a Resurrection Record single. I don't even know if Patrick knows that or not. But
I do now.
Well, I just saw Patrick's head get inflated like twice its size.
Yeah.
Like the Grinch in his heart grew 3 times that day.
But no, man, Shedding Skin's just getting started. So it's going to take off. And I have a feeling we're going to try to get that on mainstream rock radio too. And
Oh, that'd be
I'm excited to
fantastic.
see what it's going to do.
Well, remember us little people when you hit it big. All right.
I did.
I feel like that I'm like grafted to you two for the rest of my life. Anyway, you and Brindley there. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be more like who's at the backstage door. Yeah, no.
I don't know them.
I just let him know I'm a little too busy.
Patrick's like, I only have one backstage pass. Only one.
right? You guys share it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
one can come, one can go.
So how can they social media? Aaron Michaels on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah. Instagram, Facebook. I'm not on Twitter a lot, but I am on Twitter. I'm just not on there a whole lot. AaronMichaelsOfficial.com is our website. You can find us there. And then honestly, here in a little while, I'd like to, Resurrection Records is going to have a Facebook. It'll have an Instagram. I'm working on the website right now, so I don't have an official, website address yet. But I would like to come back and talk to you later, and I'll have more information about Resurrection Records and maybe have
that would
all
be
our artists
fantastic.
on at the same time. So, yeah.
Oh
that'd be
wow,
great.
fantastic.
Imagine that cluster.
Oh
Yeah.
show.
I know, right? My
can't do
goodness.
five
You just saw a
people.
portion of the cluster today.
The Brady
Yeah.
Bunch.
Yeah. I love getting the Brady Bunch screen on my computer here.
Yes. So, hey, let's wrap this up. As we always say, Dave.
Yeah, happy trails.
Happy trails, everybody.
Get on out of here.
Happy trails.
All righty.
Go on, get